Good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch. God, I almost forgot something. Yes, a little happy music this morning. I'm happy. I'm a happy guy this morning. How is everybody? Welcome. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. And it's me, Mitch. We've got a little bit of a different show for today. And we'll save that music for lighting my cigar later, because you know that's going to happen. I'm wearing headphones today, as you may notice. I'm wearing headphones, and that's something different. That's something different. And of course, I have to try to figure out how to get my live chat back up here. There it goes. Okay, and people are chatting away. We have a lot of people, 34 people so far. Off to a fairly normal start. It's a gorgeous morning here. Gorgeous morning. It is Saturday morning, the day of the old guy live stream, because I got another one. This afternoon at 3 o'clock, and I hope you're all here. I understand that it'll be in the evening for those of you in Europe, but it won't be in the middle of the night like my Tuesday night live stream is. Okay, 60 people. People are piling in. I wanted to wait till a few people got here because I want to explain why I look like I'm working out of a air traffic control tower this morning and not wearing my wireless mic. And it is because the first time when I'm doing a live stream like this, that there's something I actually have to listen to. When I don't have to listen, I don't worry about speakers and feedback and echoes and all that. But when I have to actually hear something going on the live stream, I need to wear headphones. And I think I always wear headphones for my regular live streams in the studio for that reason. I think from here on out, this is going to be the default look for the morning live streams, unless I decide, well, maybe I could try some earbuds instead, but I don't like them. So for those of you who are old enough to remember when I look at my image with these headphones, it reminds me of Howard Cosell, the sports announcer. And it is what it is. They are nice headphones, though. And the reason that I have to hear something today is that not only do I have a guest, Ellen, Scooby the dog, who you know because she's probably, I don't know, Peter, Papa Carnivore's up there in the running, but Ellen is probably the most prolific chatter that I have in any of the live streams. And yesterday, or the other day, was it Thursday night? Yeah, Thursday night, I made Ellen a moderator, gave her a blue wrench, and she agreed. I hope she doesn't regret it, but she agreed to be with me during my live streams and moderate the chat, something I've sorely needed. And she'll be looking out for things that she thinks should be brought to my attention, because I try to keep track of this stuff, but there's a lot to keep track of. So Ellen's going to be here, and Ellen's going to help me out. And Ellen, you ready, Ellen? I'm going to show you real quick here. Ellen is going to be in a little window right up there. Wave, Ellen. Say hi to everybody. And I think her mic's still muted now, but she'll unmute it when she wants to talk. There you are. How you doing? Good morning, Ellen. How you doing?
I'm great.
So
good to be here. Good to see everyone in chat.
And I can look up at you and feel like I'm being watched over by God.
I don't know if you want to go there with that comparison.
Yeah, no, but
interesting, isn't it? Look at me up in this position over you.
Yes, exactly right.
This might go to my head.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I don't think it'll go to your head. You're too
I
nice a person for that.
don't
And
think it.
we're gonna bring you back after I say hi to some people, and we're gonna bring you back as a guest before you become a moderator. But just so people get used to it, this is where Ellen is going to probably be, to use a term, hanging out during most of my live streams. And it's going to be comforting to know that I've got somebody watching my back. And occasionally you're going to see Ellen trying to get my attention or even breaking in with her microphone saying, Mitch, Mitch, you need to hear this now. And that's fine with me to be interrupted. So hopefully it'll work out. And again, Ellen, thank you so much for doing this. And I'll bring you back here in a few minutes after I say hi to some people, and then we'll actually start talking like the guest that you are today on this morning show. So I didn't say one thing to everybody: drink it if you got it. Perfect. So we'll see you in a few minutes, Ellen. And what I want to do now is I want to go back to the beginning of the chat. And hang on one second. Here we go. And I want to start saying hi to people. And we have United Carnivore, Mike Seeley first in. Good to see you, Mike, on a Saturday morning. Beautiful Saturday morning. I'm going to give you a call in a day or two. We're going to go over the numbers for the upcoming meetup this Thursday. I'm really looking forward. I can't believe time flies. I can't believe it's already here. I've gotten some more RSVPs. I think we're going to have not a huge crowd, but we're going to have a really nice little gathering. And we have Mark Booz. Mark Booz is here. How you doing, Mark? Good to see you. And Papa Carnivore, Peter. All the usual early birds are here. Don Schonger's here. How you doing, Don? And I'm not going to spend as much time saying hi to everybody. I don't want to take up the first half an hour, but I do want to say hi. And through the course of the stream, I'll try to see if I can at least acknowledge everybody's name that I see in the chat. And Ellen can shout them out too if she sees them and I missed them. So, Don Schonger, good to see you. We have, it's early in the stream. This was 20 minutes before we started. Pretty much the same people were chatting back and forth, but we did have Missouri B. Marie check in. Good morning, Mitch. It's going to be a beautiful day. Yes, it will. It'll be a great day. Mitch will be all over the internet today. And let's see if I can find somebody new. Same people. Jerry Bell. Good morning, meet people. Good to see you, Jerry. And CB is here. CB Carmack. Hey, Sheriff. Good to see you. How you doing? And who else we got here that I haven't said hi to? Meatitudes is here. Hi, Meatitudes. Good to see you. And these are the people that chime in even before the stream starts. And I have a chat full before I even hit the go live button. It's incredible. Standing Foot. Good to see you. And here we have Wanda Gerling. How you doing? Going to be another gorgeous day from mid-Missouri. Good to see you. Grandma Prepper is here. How you doing? And Mama Bear is here saying good morning. Moorhen, I can always count on you, man. From over there across the pond. Good to see you. Love it when people from Europe actually chime in and join us in these things. Time Traveler Karen from Connecticut. And Lori Weitzel's here singing or playing music. Boopy Goats is here this morning. Hiya. Good morning to you. Good to see you. And we have Charger Mopar, Rick. Let's get quacking. And not to be outdone, Ellen is here both in spirit and in person. Thank you, Ellen. And Ellen, you can see the wrench that Ellen has. Fear the wrench, guys. Fear the wrench. Ellen has awesome powers. I'm afraid of Ellen, as a matter of fact. I got to be on my best behavior today. Sandy Blythe is here. How you doing? And Fran Mariah. Good morning, Mitch and Chet. She says Tina is here. God, all my good friends come to have coffee with me. How great is that? How great is that? Lori, thank you. Thank you for that. Lori Weitzel is telling me my audio sounds great, and I'm really happy to hear that. I'm using it's over on this side. I'm using this boom mic in these headphones, which is why I look like an NFL announcer this morning. But you just don't get better audio. And I've never used these headphones before. I never used them. They're Rode. They're RODE, very expensive headphones. Really professional headphones. And you all know I got that little mixer in my studio. Well, they had a deal when I bought that mixer. They threw in a pair of these headphones as a bonus for free. These things cost $300. So, and I've never used them. Here I am, and I finally found a use for them. And thank you for letting me know that. I was curious. Meathead is here. How you doing? And Richard Williams from Copper Hill, Tennessee. Always good to see you. Valerie Thompson is here. How you doing? We have Ted and Cindy T. Good morning. Happy Saturday to all. And who haven't I said hi to? I see Ellen is busy saying good morning to everybody. Aussie Gal. Good evening, 10:30 p.m. Yes, you. So you must be over on the East Coast of Australia, I imagine. I'm finally getting my time zones, I think, a little bit straight. And you're about 15 hours, 14, 15 hours different than us. My good friend Boyd Lamb is here. Good morning, Boyd. How are you? Good to see you this morning. William McCartney chimed in, says good morning, and so many new people. Mara Jade from England. How you doing, Mara? Great to see you here. Rose Savers is here from UK as well. I love it. And who else haven't I said hi to? Monk Soup. That's an interesting one. For all of you to think that you could have a cheat day, I fell off carnivore train 2 weeks ago and have not been able to get back on. Wow. You know, I was going to get into this, probably not in this live stream, but definitely this afternoon, about this falling off the wagon and this cheat day or cheat meal, and just how dangerous that is. And a glaring example of that hit the internet yesterday, and I'm going to talk about that this afternoon because it's very sad. It's very sad when you see someone that has worked so hard and one cheat meal completely sabotages all the efforts. And I'm telling you, it is a sad thing, and it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Very, very destructive. Fran Mariah, did I say hi to you? Yes, I think I did. And I think at this point, I have actually said hello and spent enough time saying hi to people that were here early. Take one more little quick look. And I don't see anybody else that I haven't said. Here's one. Kevin Egerer, good morning to you. I really like to acknowledge the people that come in and see us. Connie Graves, chilly in Alabama this morning. It's gorgeous here. It's going to be in the mid-80s for the whole week coming up. Chad Fetters, good morning, Chad. The problem is I could keep doing this all day. California Carnivore and Rose Borgman is here. How you doing, Rose? Good to see you. And Connie Filippi. And I got to stop this. I got to stop it. I got to stop it. And somebody said Rosie Red. I didn't see Rosie in here, but I'll keep an eye out for her. Yeah, everybody's saying good morning to Rosie. How did I miss Rosie in the chat? Bass Piper is here. And hi, Rosie, if you're here. Okay. I think I got everybody. All righty. Let's do this. You ready, Ellen? Got your mic on? Okay. Not as a moderator now, although I know she won't be able to take her eye off the chat, and she'll keep doing her job. But if in case you don't know her, let me introduce Ellen.
Hi, everyone.
Scooby the dog.
Good morning.
All right, take over, Ellen. I'm going to go take a coffee break.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I didn't mean to do that to you. I'm just joking with you.
That's good.
Ellen is rightfully a little nervous this morning, and I can understand that. I would be too, but don't be nervous. And I know that everybody out there loves you. And what we want to do today is I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about carnivore. I want to talk to you about your experiences, and especially I want to get into some more detail about the little adventure that you had that I actually made a video out of, which turned out to be a very popular video, and that was entitled, and I'm paraphrasing here, so a carnivore went to see a vegan cardiologist, and this happened. That was Ellen, in case you didn't know, and she sent me all kinds of literature and information and told me the story, and it was not only the most terrifying thing I'd ever heard, but it was funny as hell as well, and indicative of how screwed up the medical profession is and how owned they are by the Seventh-day Adventists and the whole veggie culture that they've perpetrated for over 100 years. So, Ellen, I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. And just, if we can do a short version, I know Ellen and I talked at length last night about how we're going to do this live stream and about what I was going to ask her. And we also both agreed that we're a lot alike, and that you get either one of us started telling a story, buckle up. It's going to be a while. So, Ellen, how in the world, start out with how you even found out about this particular young lady, vegan cardiologist, and what you thought initially, and then after you finally realized what was going on, what you actually did about it.
Okay, well, just for everyone, all my old and new friends in the chat, who a lot of you know me from the private community and Mitch's live streams, but there's a lot of new people from all over the world in these morning coffees. It's wonderful to have coffee with all of these great people. So I'll just recap quick. This is kind of how Mitch and I was listening to your podcast, but we got connected, so to speak. So I started doing carnivore in September, about a little over a year ago. And so I'm trying to not go into too much detail. I'm nervous, people, so I'm not used to this. So anyway, I went to, January was time for my yearly physical, and I started carnivore for my primary purpose was for I have GI issues. I was sick for a real long time. We won't go into that. So I went to for my just regular yearly physical with my mainstream doctor, and he did the usual labs, and it was amazing. Are people familiar in the chat with Dave Feldman and his lean mass hyper-responder work? Anybody hyper-responders, or anyone in the chat have the cholesterol go sky high? So I was actually excited because I had recently, heard about Dave Feldman and the lean mass hyper-responder profile, etc. Because I got my lab results back. You know how you get stuff on the computer now, so I pulled them up, and my cholesterol went. I don't even remember the exact number because I'm like Mitch. I don't care so much about the numbers anymore. But it went from total like 200 to 400 and something. In my in my whatever, September, October, November, and I started out ketovore because that's a whole other story. I'm like a hardcore sugar and carb addict. I have to kind of slide on into it, but yet in that short period of time, and most of it was my LDL, which I think it was like 300 and something, but my HDL is 100, and
Wow.
for you with numbers, quite good. And the triglycerides are 50 something. So everything is exactly what you want. And us carnivores know that high LDL is a good thing. Speculation, allegedly not medical advice. I was going to have this disclaimer.
Yeah, we all need disclaimers on this thing here.
Put up. But anyway, so my doctor got those. Otherwise, other than these GI issues, cardiovascular-wise, I have to say I'm blessed being in pretty good health. I mean, my blood pressure is normal, like normal weight, etc. So he saw that cholesterol, and I think we all know what the usual response to that is. And so he didn't know what to do. He said, my HDL is too high. That's bad too. The LDL is high. He didn't know what's going on, but he just knows it's bad. So he had to, and I'll backtrack to my doctor because he actually is a reasonable guy. But one thing we have to understand is he practices. He's part of one of the big healthcare, regimes, systems in my area. So they are, I'll just have to follow these algorithms and protocols, in what they do. So he can't let something like that slide. So I told him, I went in for my follow-up appointment, and I was excited because I said, holy moly, I'm a lean mass hyper-responder because I have a low BMI. I don't know what it's under 18 or something like that. I have, all the high, low triglycerides, high HDL, high LDL. So I printed out Dave Feldman's study and some literature for my doctor, and I went in to see him, and I said, Dr. Jenkins, I'm going to use his name. Somebody scolded me about that on the video, but I don't think he's listening. I said, look, this is exciting. I said, we are on the cutting edge here of new research, new information. Look at that one. And he didn't even look at the information that I gave him. But we're not done yet. So he said, well, he referred me to a cardiologist because of the lipid. So hence.
Yeah, we all know that you were looking so bad and frail and sick, and that you were looking like you were on death's door, that he had to refer you to a cardiologist.
A cardiologist. No symptoms. No normal blood pressure. Good labs. Normal weight. Normal, if anything, again, a little on the lean side I was then. And so, right, I said, well, okay, if you want me to go to a cardiologist, I'll go to a cardiologist to appease him. So I went to the cardiologist then, and she Oh, yeah. Sorry, backtrack. I'm sorry. I told him that about this carnivore. Well, yeah, obviously, because of the lean mass hypertrophy. Anyway, here, I need some coffee. I'm not a morning.
Oh, go ahead, Ellen. I know. Listen,
Okay, so I got to the cardio. Oh, go on.
I was going to say, for any of you out there watching this, and right now we have 144 people,
Okay.
which is a nice audience for me, especially in the morning. If any of you think this is easy to be live in front of people and not be nervous, you ought to try it sometime. Send me an email. We'll make you a guest on this show and you'll understand. And I think Ellen's doing a great job so far. But I'm telling you what, you talk about, it took me years. It took me years of doing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of live streams to become this suave, smooth, polished person you see.
Well, look who I'm up against, and I'm trying to be
No.
I have the inspired by Mitch. I have flowers here, and I'm to the side like I learned.
Oh, okay. Absolutely. No, you're doing just great. The only thing that we're going to do in the future, Ellen, we're going to figure out some way to mic you up where you're actually talking into some kind of a real microphone and not just into your computer's mic and webcam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll improve, folks. So I get to the cardiologist. She comes in, and right off the bat, she's already. She must have heard something. Oh, what are you doing? I'm eating the carnivore diet. Those people are criminals, she said. Right off the bat. Now, you notice everybody knows sometimes you don't want to generalize, but you can kind of get a feel for what certain things about a person by looking at them, the way they present themselves. Vegan. So I got that vibe from her pretty quickly, and she was a little on the younger side, So she said, those people are criminal. It's criminal what they are doing, she said. And she went on to, now I was there because of my cardiology. She didn't even listen to my heart. Theoretically, maybe I could have some issues. Maybe I had some swelling in my ankles or something. She didn't even really look at me. She was just sat down in her chair, was on the computer, went on about how criminal this was, and I needed to, look at this cholesterol. It's terrible. But I was surprised by this. I don't need a statin because luckily they didn't even try to push that on me because I don't have any other. If I had like one other risk factor, like blood pressure or weight or something, shortness of breath, they would do the statin, but I had no risk factors. The other thing that my doctor had ordered was the CAC score. And so I went and had the CAC done, and mine was 0. Yeah. Which was good and helped me in the long run. But I think I hadn't had that yet, but when I saw her. So she said she thought we could fix this with dietary intervention. And then this was what just really blew me away, because I understand physicians can have their opinions and their own point of view. They're being a professional, and they can have their personal points of view. But, and this is where I ended up having to contact Mitch, because I was just so floored by the fact that she basically was pushing while claiming that all of these carnivore doctors going on YouTube and talking to people were criminal. She gave me a several-page handout with lists of her recommendations were obviously to go on a plant-based whole foods diet. It was the playbook out of the Seventh-day Adventist manual. Go on that diet, and then she had lists of recommended podcasts I should listen to. All of the one big vegan ones, Dr. McGregor, a lot of them I was familiar with. Documentaries I should watch. What are they? Twist Fork and Knives, Knives Over Knives Over Forks.
Knives over. Oh man, all of them. They didn't miss one of them. They didn't miss a single one on that list. It was crazy.
So, yeah, listening, and that was what I should do. Rice, beans, tofu, soy. I needed to eat more soy. Stop this immediately. Anyway, that was her. And I ended up writing to Mitch because I don't know if y'all have experienced this. Sometimes if you experience something related to this carnivore lifestyle, like I did, and you want to tell someone about it, but you don't have anyone in your immediate world or circle of friends who will really understand. Like nobody, in my immediate circle knows what a lean mass hyperresponder is. So I ended up emailing Mitch because I just couldn't believe that as part of this was standard medical care to recommend vegan podcasts and documentaries. That was just really did floor me.
So you saw her, you finished your appointment with her.
My appointment.
And you said, well, Doc, thanks so much. See ya. Is that what happened?
Yep. I just, there was no reason even saying anything as far as I was concerned. I just nodded, took my thing. She wanted me to come back in 6 months, which of course I had no intention of doing.
I had a funny thought when you got to this point in your story. I started comparing what my reaction would have been. Yeah. Number one, and the longer you do carnivore and the more things that it heals for you and the better you feel and the more convinced you are that even though we're such a tiny minority, that we are actually correct and basically following an ancestral diet, which can't be wrong, because if it was wrong, we wouldn't be alive. We would have gone extinct long ago. And once you learn the origins of all of the fraud, all of the misrepresentations, all the propaganda based in religion, bad science, egos, corruption, money, you reach a point where you're firmly convinced that you're talking to an idiot that's ignorant. Mm-hmm. They may be a very smart person. You can't get through medical school without being a smart person, but they're ignorant. They don't know the facts. They only know what they've been spoon-fed. And now they're part of the machine. They're part of the system. And if they buck the system, they could lose their license. So not only are they trying to practice what they think is medicine, but they're living in fear because they're being watched by everybody, all the regulatory agencies. And God forbid somebody actually files a complaint. Oh, this doctor told me to eat meat, to the medical board. You find yourself being hauled up. So they practice defensive medicine. It's sad. The difference between you and me, Ellen, at this stage in the game, at this stage in my journey on carnivore, and my confidence that it is right, because after all, I've bet my life on it. That's a pretty heavy bet. I probably never would have gone in the first place to any cardiologist unless I thought I had a need. But if I had gone to her, I would have basically performed the same exact vanishing act that I've become so adept at from my days of dating. The minute a woman told me, Mitch, the trouble with you is this, and you need to learn, because what you don't understand, and before those words are finished coming out of their mouths, they're going to be standing there. Mitch, where are you? I have a vanishing act that rivals the finest musicians and magicians, and that's what would have happened. And the next time this happens to you,
yes,
you'll know better than to even, and you can mutter something on your way out like, I can't believe what an unbelievable waste of money you are.
Mm-hmm.
You need to educate yourself. Here is my list of studies, podcasts, documentaries, and things that you should watch. And if you refuse to watch them, you should do the world a favor and keep your mouth shut and find a new job. And I would be gone. And that's what these people need to hear because they are killing us. Anyway, I didn't mean to take over your story, but
No, that's perfect. And again, I wish, looking back, you always look back in hindsight. And like you said, if I was further along, sometimes I personally vacillate between just being nice and doing the easy thing versus standing up. And it just wasn't the right time and place. But I agree with you. Looking back, part of me thinks I sure would have enjoyed just telling her what you said, but I wasn't quite up for that quite yet.
well, most people aren't because we come from a life of always having respected professionals, doctors especially, and they've got all the big buildings, the big hospitals and clinics. They're the authority figures, and the hardest thing for people when they just start out, and we've all been there, and I've been there,
Mhm.
is when you see your cholesterol go up, if you haven't learned to look at all the other factors, and there was no Dave Feldman or Nick Norwitz or people like that that are actually doing real studies now that are proving that number one, cholesterol is not what's clogging your arteries. And I can't tell you how many times I hear that from people, just casual people I'm talking to, when they find it. They'll look at my shopping cart in Sam's, and I'll get this look. And their shopping cart is full of crap and vegetables, no meat to be found. And they'll give me that, you know the look. I can't believe. Meanwhile, they weigh 300 pounds. I weigh 137 pounds. I'm 77 years old. They're 40. They're sick and dying already. And they're giving me a look because I got a shopping cart full of meat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can't talk to them. You can't say anything to them. So I just start, when I see their shopping carts now, I always give them the, are you kidding me? Look. And then they've got the fat little kids toggling along whose lives they've ruined, not because they're bad, not because they're bad parents, but because they just don't know any better and can't know any better. Mm-hmm. We are not allowed to hear the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but now to get to the ending, kind of, that has a little bit of a positive direction to it, I like to say. I went back to the primary care doctor, and one of the reasons that I did go along with this was because I do like, for my primary care doctor, he's okay. He's not a carnivore, but he's not a vegan or vegetarian. He's never told me that, but I just know. Again, it's one of those things you just learn certain things about. I think he's working in this system that he's forced to work in, and he did this to cover his arse. Can we cuss in here? I don't know.
Yeah, you can cuss. You can say anything you want.
His arse. I'll say that's because it always sounds.
No, say ass, Ellen. Say it. Say cover his ass.
And yes, that's why I know he was doing this. And so, but when I went back to see him, I said, I went to your cardiologist. I said, and I did that. I said, but I don't plan on going back. I said, she gave me she said, yeah, I didn't need any medication. This can be fixed with diet. But I said, I really didn't care for her dietary advice. And he said, oh yeah, did she do that whole food plant-based thing?
Oh, so he knew.
Yes. So I kind of got the feel that he's kind of knows, but again, he can't, limited in what he can say? And I said, yep. And he goes, okay. He goes, yeah, you'll just follow up with me.
Well,
So,
one of the things, and I don't mean to keep interrupting you, but
no, this is
I want to point this out. It also gives you a little time to collect your thoughts. One of the things that we don't notice as much as we should, and again, I'm not anti-religion in any way, but there are some religions that do have some strange ideas, and the Seventh-day Adventists are one of them. And since we've all in our space studied the history of the origin of the religion itself, because before Ellen G. White came along, there was no such thing as a Seventh-day Adventist. It is a brand new religion that was built completely around one concept. And that was, and if you don't know this, everybody on Carnivore should know this. It makes it much easier to believe you're on the right track. The one beginning founding principle of the entire Seventh-day Adventist religion, which is a huge religion today, was God told Ellen G. White that men should not eat meat because it gives them impure sexual thoughts and causes them to masturbate. That is the truth. You can Google it, and you'll see it right there on the screen or any other search engine, and exactly the wording that I use will show up there. That's what happened, and that's what started the whole mess we're in now. When they put John Harvey Kellogg in charge of the Battle Creek Sanitarium to convert everybody to vegetable, they went on to grow the largest healthcare system in the world. And most people don't make the connection between the Advent healthcare system and the Seventh-day Adventists. They don't make that connection. They went on to have hundreds of universities teaching their anti-meat, vegan, vegetarian philosophies. They are on the board of directors of every food and drug company. They are sitting on the boards in all of the governments that create the dietary policies. They are the most powerful mover of the vegetarian principle, and following them very closely are all the companies that are profiting like crazy, jumping on their train. So the first question I would ask, this is the first question that I would ask any new doctor who I didn't know, if for some reason I happen to have to see a doctor, which I avoid, I would ask them, Doc, I want you to answer me this honestly. Are you a Seventh-day Adventist? And if he says, yes, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm done. I will not put my life and health in the hands of somebody that thinks men need to stop masturbating. I'm sorry, my friend. That'll never happen. And you know me, I don't mince words. I call it like I see it. Maybe it embarrasses you a little bit, Ellen, but that is what I would say. That's what I would say to any new medical professional. I don't care if it's a doctor, a nurse, an orderly, the guy sitting behind the reception desk in the emergency room. Hi, got one question. Please answer honestly. Are you a Seventh-day Adventist? Because if anybody says yes, I'm gone. I'm gone. And learning the history, where all this came from, is as important in actually successfully maintaining a carnivore lifestyle, because it gives you the confidence not to know that the stuff that used to scare the shit out of you, like your doctor telling you, oh, I'm concerned about your cholesterol. What do you mean, doc? Maybe I should stop carnivore. How many people have had their keto, low carb, carnivore lifestyles stop dead in its tracks because some ignorant doctor said to them, well, everybody knows that high cholesterol clogs your arteries and kills you. So we need to be educated in that. We need to know the origin of all of these bad ideas. And when you do know the origin and you read the history, which is not hidden at all. It's all out there. You say to yourself, wow, I can't believe I actually fell for this stuff. And I can't believe even more that an entire medical community these days, chains of hospitals, all, every one of them. There's no carnivore hospitals yet. Every hospital, every clinic, every doctor, the VA, every government program that provides foods to schools and military buys in to this propaganda. And we're revolutionaries, is what we are. But we're healthy and thin revolutionaries. At any rate, that's what I would do, Ellen. Back to you.
Well, that is interesting. I mean, I recently, just a little over a year ago, learned all about these Seventh-day Adventists and how they run the healthcare system. Because I had no clue. I mean, I made it this far in life without knowing about any of that. So, anyway, that's I guess the basic story. But what I think is possibly a potential positive is I can't initially, before the cardiologist, I'm sure my primary care doctor was skeptical about this carnivore business, but at that visit, he said, I don't know, Ellen, he said, you look pretty good. Looks like you're doing pretty well. So, what he's seeing, at least here, is someone who, while I do have that high LDL, although it'll be interesting to see, the other thing was nobody wanted to recheck it. He didn't care about it. I thought, he was going to say, let's redo your lipids and make sure they're going down or changing or not. He didn't care. If I come back in January, because I do the yearly thing just to stay on the roster.
I do the same thing. With the VA. Once a year, get the lab tests, give the doctor a biology lesson, and then I go.
Yeah, it's good to have them on hand to use. That's so they should be a useful tool if we need them. And so that's what he said. He said, yep, you look good. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Keep doing it, yeah. And then when
at least I figure he will have had this experience, this one thing that may be in the back of his mind, will, by showing, he'll see.
Yeah, your doctors are going to fight you if you dispute anything they say, because most of them are very egotistical. That's why it's actually sometimes better, like I have at the VA, to have a nurse practitioner who can, who is almost a doctor, or a PA, a physician's assistant, is almost a doctor, that can write prescriptions and, do the job generally as good as any GP can, until you need a specialist, let's say, because they don't have the ego. They don't have the white coat. They don't have the stethoscope. They don't parade up and down like a peacock with the stethoscope draped just perfectly over their neck,
They're using PAs more and nurse practitioners.
Yeah, so doctors are not going to say, you could be right, Ellen. And the question to ask a doctor, in my opinion, at that point, if you defy, which we do, all of the results that the medical professionals expect that we're going to have by eating copious amounts of red meat and fat, animal fat, and no vegetables, okay? I simply ask, and that's the question I asked my doctor or my nurse practitioner at the VA years ago, which is why I still go back to her, because she knows I know more than her. And she doesn't dare challenge me, because she knows if she does, she's going to be in for an hour lecture, and she doesn't have the time for that. So she goes along with me. She tells me, the VA says I have to prescribe a statin, so I'm writing in your record that I prescribed a statin and you refused. I said, fine, do what you have to do to keep your job. But she knows better than to think that I don't know what's going on. So I simply ask them, well, listen, doc, Obviously, you don't think I'm a human being, do you?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Well, obviously, I can't be human because if I was, according to your definition of human, I would be sick and dying from diabetes, heart disease, dementia, Alzheimer's, cancer, and all the other mitochondrial diseases. Why, or chronic conditions? Why? How do you explain my health to me? Explain to me why my body is not behaving like you think all human beings should behave. And then they come up with these, it puts them on the spot. They can't answer that question. So they always say, well, I can't really tell, but obviously whatever you're doing is working for you, so keep doing it. And that's the answer you hear. They have no clue what's going on. And when you put them on the spot, that's their pat spin. Well, obviously there's something different about you. Well, what could be different about me, doc? Cut me, I bleed. I have a heart, lungs, I have all the same organs. My blood tests have the same, my blood has the same stuff in it. I am a human, I think. I'm not a new species of human. Uh, and they can't explain it. And then they get pissed off and end up firing you as a patient, which is the best thing ever happened to you in your life. It's to be fired by your doctor.
Yeah. Hey, Mitch, let's go to the chat.
Okay, Ellen. Then I'm going to keep you on the screen. I'm not going to relegate you to the God role up there, looking over my shoulder. But yeah, let's talk about the chat because we are running.
Yeah, even though that gets me off the hook. So, Papa, thank you, Papa Carnivore, for explaining. There was, I can't remember who. The chat's going so fast. Somebody didn't know what a lean mass hyperresponder was, and Papa Carnivore kindly answered that question for them. So thank you, Papa. He's been chiming in and helping out. And let's see, lots of people have chimed in with their experiences with the medical community. Valerie Thompson went to the doctor. Her cholesterol was 413. Nice, Valerie. That's similar to mine.
Yes.
Definitely not medical advice. So her doctor said she won't go. Doctor knows she won't go on any medication. Good. Hearing a lot of this theme. So she's going to keep going and lose some weight. And he said, okay. So let's see what else we got. Lots of people chiming in.
You see any questions there?
I'm not seeing any questions. Lots of comments.
Yeah, I've been watching the comments on my cell phone here. There it is. Yeah, been watching the comments. And just somebody had their name in lights for the whole thing we've been talking. I had a comment up on the screen and down in the corner there, and I just noticed that. I do that all the time. So if I've embarrassed anybody by leaving your name on the screen for half an hour, I'm sorry. And I've been watching the comments go by as we were talking. And it's incredible. And we have 100 Ellen.
What?
I love you, Ellen. I love you.
Oh.
I knew you were going to be an attraction. I knew that people would much rather tune into your pretty face than this thing. And we have 180 people watching the stream right now. Can you imagine? Isn't that great? Isn't that great?
That is great. Yes. I mean, watching the chat, and of course, you know me, naturally, I want to start answering. But
yeah.
I can't do two things at once, although maybe I'll get better at it. So that's great. And people from all over the place. I'm just trying to.
Lori Weitzel says, you're next, Papa. Yeah, Peter is the next guest that we're going to have.
Oh, Tammy Pitark, her 2-year carniversary is Tuesday. Congratulations, Tammy. I'm just really doing these randomly.
No, go ahead. We got 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
And we missed the most important thing. God, Ellen, you've kept me so busy that.
Oh my God.
How the hell did I miss that? Holy cow. Hold on. It's going to take a minute, but it must be done.
Oh, that's important.
It must be done.
You go. I'll text.
Excuse me while I light my cigar. Okay. Gave you a chance to look at the chat a little bit, Ellen, while I distracted everybody.
Excellent. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. I like that technique. I'll have to remember that. Someone asked, do you make your own electrolytes, Mitch?
I do, yes.
You have a video. Yes, you have a video about that, don't you?
I do it. A lot of people do it, and there's nothing special about them. It's a very common recipe. It's perfectly safe. One dose a day should be enough, and yet there's no way you can actually overdose on anything. It's got a lot more potassium in it than most of the things like Element and those.
Oh, yeah.
And it's much cheaper. It's 50 to 1. 50 to 1 cheaper. You can make 50 doses yourself, and it can't be a live stream without at least one shameless Amazon plug. But all the ingredients for that are on my Amazon links page on my website, oldguycarnivore.com. Okay, there you go, Ellen. I had to get that in. That and the cigar.
No, and you should. Allegedly, speculation, not medical advice, but in my opinion, even like Element, the potassium in their mix is like really low. It's not,
it's like 60 or 80 milligrams or something like that. You need 4,000 milligrams of potassium a day. You get more potassium in one strip of Wright's bacon than you get in a whole dose of Element.
I know. And for what
one strip of bacon, 90 milligrams of potassium. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I can't. So I think making, if you're going to use those, making your own.
I hope this cigar smoke doesn't bother you, Ellen. I didn't ask if maybe you were sensitive to it.
I love the smell of a cigar.
Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be a great gag if you had somebody sitting off to your right who could blow smoke into your picture?
Oh, yeah, to make
it so that if I puffed and I went like this, and the smoke came into your picture, that would be fabulous. What a gag that would be.
Okay, well, folks, something to look forward to in the future.
Yeah, well, we'll have an act, you and me.
You will have. Well, I'm really looking forward to getting to know all of you better.
And let me just say this, because I'm about ready to close it out. You can sigh. Wow. You can sigh a big sigh of relief, and I can tell you in front of everybody, all 188 people that are still watching, still here after an hour of this professional show business, that I couldn't be, honest to God, Ellen, more grateful, or more pleased with having you, not just as a moderator, but almost as a sidekick.
Yeah.
And
Howard Stern and Robin Gibbons.
Yeah, there you go. And I hope you don't get tired of doing it. Now, you're not. I will tell everybody that you're not obligated to be here every morning. You're not obligated. You have a life. I'm still perfectly capable of carrying this thing when I have to, and I've put. Ellen volunteered for this, and obviously I hope she enjoys it. But there's going to be times where she's not here. I expect my viewership probably will drop off because people, I didn't come here to see that ugly old fart. I came to see that gorgeous Ellen. Come on, Mitch, get with the program.
No, I don't think so.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. You're going to be with me this afternoon at 3:00.
Well, yes, I will.
As a moderator on the live stream, and what she's going to do is sit up there on the God perch and keep an eye on the chat and interact with you, answer things she can, but divert my attention to anything that she thinks might make an interesting answer, because that's the real reason that we're doing this. We're doing this primarily to help people that are struggling. And God, the more I see and the more I hear, the more I know how people are struggling. And you don't have to struggle on this. It can be the easiest thing if you follow just a few basic rules. And we have, except for that little cookie episode, but we're never going to talk about that, Ellen. Yeah. So at any rate, my friends, thank you so much. And Ellen, I can't express my gratitude for your help and your support.
Thank you.
And looking forward to doing a lot more of this. So, Ellen and I will play the exit music. Take a little puff. Well, I'll take a little puff on the cigar. We'll both dance to the music. Oops, the coffee's gone. Holy cow. Yeah.
I wish I could, if I was in the, on my keyboard, I'd just say hi to you all individually.
You will. Now, let's make this ending right. I'll say the first part, you say the second part. Okay? All right, everybody. It's been great. Thanks for coming. Take the rest of the day off.
And eat meat. I'm fat.
Perfect.